Hey you guys, it's Peter, and welcome to my channel, Peterisms, where I tell stories of my life and just little things that I've learned as I've grown into the person that I am today. And I have two meditation books here. I have the Daily Book of Positive Quotations. I have no idea what this meditation is about, but when I read the title of it, I was like, I really like the title of this meditation, so maybe it has some, I don't know, some lesson I need to hear today. And then I hadn't read from the book A Mindful Evening for a while. Complete each day with a calm mind and an open heart. And since it's late and this video will be getting up late, and I think most people will probably be watching this video as they're going to bed, I thought, well, or getting up and going back to bed. I don't know. But anyway, I thought maybe this is a good book to read tonight. I like the nighttime meditations. That's a time for me when I can just kind of really, you know, calm my soul, so to speak, and really just kind of think about the day and, you know, do some inventory on what the day was like. Do you hear Tucker? He just literally just runs around in circles. So anyway, you know, for a long time, I did like a morning routine and an evening routine. The morning routine was like the facial stuff. I would do like this face mask and all this kind of stuff, this cup of coffee face mask from Lush, and did all this kind of stuff and had a glass of water and had a cup of coffee, and then I did all my meditations and my prayers and my gratitudes and all that kind of stuff. And I have been doing the latter part of that. But I haven't been doing the facial stuff until recently again. And then the evening thing I've been doing this entire week. Like I've come home and I have done like the eye cream and the hydrating face mask. And then like I do the Laneige lip mask that I love. And I do all this kind of stuff before I go to bed. And what's going on, Tucker? He is running in circles. Anyway, isn't that so cute? But I've been doing that every night, and then I lay back down in bed, you know, and we sleep with a fan because I love sleeping with a fan, and it just kind of like drifts over me, and I'm like, okay, this is like, this feels so peaceful, you know. I'm gonna pull this ottoman over here so when he runs here back this time, I'll be like, okay, get on the chair. The little pitter patter. Come on, buddy. Did you hear him come to a like a sliding stop? There you are. You're doing okay? Okay. And now Boo Radley is right in front of me. Crazy days of trying to film meditation videos. So let's get into the Daily Book of Positive Quotations. January 23rd. I think today's the 23rd. It might be the 22nd, but I'm almost positive it's the 23rd. There he is. Hey, buddy. How are you? You had your dinner, and now what are you doing? Oh, there's Boo Radley. Okay. This video. Oh, let's hope I can get through this video. I know Boo Radley's gonna start scratching to make his little hole back. Hi, honey. How are you? Yeah. Are you guys having fun today? Okay. Laughing in adversity. January 23rd, laughing in adversity. Life does not cease to be funny when people die any more than it ceases to be serious when people laugh. George Bernard Shaw. How can we laugh and have fun when so many bad things are going on around us? Isn't it wrong to enjoy ourselves when others are going through difficult times? Laughter is a gift that can help us through difficult times. We shouldn't be ashamed of smiling when life seems bleak. Laughing may not solve my problems today, but it may very well help me cope with them. I really like this meditation, and there's one specific example that of this that I have, and I've talked about this on here before, but you know, I have this personal belief that like funeral homes and that whole system, like it's, yes, I mean, it serves that purpose, that, you know, superficial purpose, but I think the underlying issue is that it's really supposed to keep all of us busy during that immediate time of grief, because you really don't know what to do with yourself, right? So you've got people to call and you've got arrangements to make and, you know, figuring out like, you know, all of the stuff that goes along, you know, with that whole situation. And for me, you know, like the first day or two, I was just in such, like with my mom, I'm talking about specifically with my mom. The first day or two, like I just was in, I literally just put one foot in front of the other. If it were not for my aunt and my cousin, I don't think that anything would have gotten done. Like I was so just like out of it. And I remember like being at the funeral home and all this kind of stuff, but I just kind of was like, is this real? Like, this doesn't feel real. Like, this feels surreal. It doesn't feel real at all. And I remember later, after my aunt died, like, I was at my aunt's house literally within like 10 or 15 minutes. My cousin called me and said, I want you here now. And so I was over there, and I remember like she and I standing in the garage, and I said to her, she said it feels so surreal. And I said, I know, like you can't really explain it to anybody else until you go through it, you know? And so, but I do remember that it was like the night before the viewing. My friends and I, we had put together, it was one of my good friends, it was also a friend of my mom's. She had put together, like I had made a list of all the music that I wanted on these CDs. Okay, I had to stop the camera because they started wrestling behind me and like, it was a lot. So anyway, so Tucker is over here on the ottoman and Boo Radley is right below me on the floor. Okay, so, but I do remember like putting together, you know, like all the pictures that I wanted in this DVD at the funeral home, you know, and then all of the music that, like a friend of mine was gonna put together these CDs that would play in the background. I think we had like 5 or 6 because my mother loved music. So I remember that night before the viewing, she and I, and then my other friend, whose mother had passed away a year before, we drove around like for hours that night and we listened to every single one of those CDs, every single song. We sung at the top of our lungs and, you know, we just laughed and told stories about my mom, really funny stories, things that maybe, you know, like, I don't know, hello, but just really funny stories, you know, and it really helped me celebrate the life of my mother instead of just feeling so sad. And I can remember also, you know, like talking to they're wrestling again, talking to my cousin, and I said, I don't know what to do. Like, I feel like I don't want to just sit in this house. Like, I was living in an apartment at the time. I don't want to just sit in this apartment. I don't really know what to do, right? Like with myself. And, you know, I don't feel like I should be social. And she's like, you know, what would you do normally during that time? And I said, well, on a weekend, I would probably go out one of the nights, right? She was like, go out. And I was like, I don't feel like I should go out. And this is really good advice. And listen, if somebody wants to judge me on this, judge me, but this was fantastic advice at the time. I said, I don't feel like I should. Like, I feel like that's a, you know, a bad look, so to speak. And she goes, you gotta take care of yourself, right? So I went out with some friends that night, and incidentally, I ended up going out with a couple people who had lost mothers before too. And it was so helpful for me. It was so fantastic. Did I have the most celebratory evening in the entire world? No. I went out for a couple hours. I stood around. I saw some people. It was healthy. It was healthy for me. You know, I think we went out to dinner first and then we went out. And it was really good for me to get out of myself and not just be sitting around like so sad. And I think, you know, it's such a hard thing when you're going through that. I think any tragedy in our life, like maybe not at the immediate moment that you're going through it, you tell a joke. I mean, that's insensitive and inappropriate, right? Do you hear them over here? They're like going crazy tonight. They are wanting to play, aren't you guys? So anyway, I think that's insensitive and it's inappropriate. But you know, like once, you know, you've gone through it for a couple days and you make some kind of joke to somebody that's in the inner circle, the friend, another family member that's going through it as well, I think that's totally fine. I think that's completely appropriate. You know, and I think to just like maybe watch a funny movie or, you know, listen to a funny podcast that you like or something like that, you know? Laughter is the medication for the soul. It just truly, truly is. So anyway, I think that's a great meditation. I'm gonna put that over there. And now we are going to read from A Mindful Evening. What do you think about that, Tucker? By David Dillard Wright, PhD. He says, I don't know him. A mindful evening, complete each day with a calm mind and an open heart. Are you ready? Okay, so I'm going to, he just stepped over into my lap now, randomly pick a meditation. Redirecting, okay, I have 2 choices. The place beyond the noise, which I have no idea what that means, or redirecting anger, resentment, and jealousy. I think I'll read that one. Redirecting anger, resentment, and jealousy. Entering the forest, he moves, not the grass. Entering the water, he makes, not a ripple. And this is Zenrin Kushu, a collection of writings used in the Rinzai school of Zen. The value of, I'm gonna horribly mispronounce this, you guys. The value of ahimsa, non-harming, goes beyond refraining from killing living things. It also extends into our thoughts and words. It means not harboring any ill will or blame toward others or toward ourselves or others. Striving for ahimsa gradually realigns our attitudes and assumptions. It is like the cool stream that gradually wears away the rough edges of stones and makes them smooth as glass. We don't even really know or understand our own thought process until we adopt the value of ahimsa. It is a means by which we come to see our own vengeance and pettiness. Watch your thoughts this evening. Do you see traces of anger, of resentment, of jealousy? See if you can redirect these feelings towards goodwill and love. He's back there. Do you hear him? He's back there building his little circle back there. I can't see him. Where are you? You're hiding behind me. So, up there. You came right up there. Watch your thoughts this evening. Do you see traces of anger, of resentment, of jealousy? See if you can redirect these feelings towards goodwill and love. Think of the object of your negative feelings as your dearest one. Treasure that person or object of anger as more valuable than life itself. See yourself in the face of the other and realize that peace only comes through acceptance. You know, last week I heard it, my home group meeting, one of my friends said to me afterwards, she was telling this prayer to me that her sponsor had said to her, and it's like more of just an affirmation. I mentioned this in a couple videos. It doesn't have to be a prayer, but it is, help me to see this through a situation through a new perspective, or help me to see this in a different way. And I think it's such a powerful meditation, you know, I think it's such a powerful affirmation or prayer, you know, that often when we're going through things, and I think this really for me goes back to To Kill a Mockingbird, which is really one of my favorite books of life, you know, favorite movie, hands down probably of life. But anyway, you know, it's interesting when you here in the movie where Atticus is talking to Scout and he says to her, you don't really know somebody until you walk around. He's referring to Boo Radley, not this Boo Radley, the Boo Radley from the movie, of which this Boo Radley is named after. But he said you don't really truly know somebody until you've walked around in their front porch and walked around in their shoes for a while. And Tucker, what's going on? Oh my God, they're so bad. They want to play so bad. And I think it's true, you know? And I think in the moment, like, and I've said this so many times and I'll keep on saying it and over and over and over again, and maybe somebody will hear it and they'll understand it this time. But if they haven't before, because for me, it took many times of understanding this to really get it. It's like, if I'm pointing fingers and I'm talking about other people and I'm blaming other people and I'm saying, but if you only, and rightfully so, okay? You know, like, justifiable anger is very dangerous because we have a right to feel that way often, you know? But if I'm sitting there and I'm pointing the finger and saying, but if you only knew the truth, but if you only knew what they did to me, but if you only knew, right? Sometimes it just doesn't matter. And as I'm doing that, I'm taking all the attention away from growing as a human being, pointing that finger back at myself, looking at myself and who I want to be and who I want to be going forward and what human being I want to be, right? So for me, it's like that justifiable anger is pointless. Like, why not get back to, hello again, why not get back to focusing on myself? So when I today am feeling anger, resentment, and jealousy, I really have to take a look at that and I have to delve deep. And I have felt those feelings and those emotions a lot in the last couple years. In the last 6 months to a year, not so much. I really haven't, you know? I've really, like, as far as jealousy goes, I've really learned to respect my own journey, and that if other people have things or situations that I might want, I can maybe get those, but would I be any happier if I had them? My journey is so completely different than somebody else's. I don't know why they have what they have or they do what they do. I don't know why. And I don't judge myself based on other people. I'll always lose by comparison if I do. And the other thing, you know, is like with anger and resentment. Resentment for me is the #1 offender. That's a recovery saying, you know? A resentment for me is an unfulfilled expectation. When I expected a person to act a certain way or a situation to unfold a certain way and it didn't. So now I have, he's like so sweet right now, you guys. I wish I could show you, but he's like got his arm up on his paw up on my arm. You know, for me, resentments and anger are gonna lead me back to a really dangerous place. I don't wanna be there. I want peace and serenity today. So in any situation where I find myself feeling anger, resentment, and jealousy, if it starts, I have to take a look at it, not react, but respond and say, okay, what is my part in this? What can I do to clean up my side of the street? And what can I do going forward so that I am happy, joyous, free, peaceful, and serene? And that's what I do today, because that's what I want, you know? So anyway, I don't know. What do you guys think about those meditations? Let me know in the comment section below. I love you, and Boo and Tucker will see you tomorrow. Bye.